the spring of 2018, a private investigator named Ray, based in Cincinnati, Ohio, 22 years in the business, was hired by a woman named Carol to surveil her husband, a man named Frank. Carol suspected Frank of having an affair. He had been leaving the house 3 nights a week for the past 2 months, always between 9 and 11 in the evening, always with vague explanations. She wanted documentation. Ray had done hundreds of these cases. Infidelity surveillance was routine work. He took the case without a second thought. He began surveillance on a Monday. Frank left the house at 9:40 on Monday evening. Ray followed him in a nondescript vehicle, maintaining a discreet distance. Frank drove for approximately 20 minutes to a commercial area on the outskirts of the city, a stretch of closed businesses, a storage facility, and a diner that closed at 8. Frank parked in the lot behind the diner. Ray parked across the street and trained his camera on the lot. At 10 past 10, a second vehicle pulled into the lot, a gray sedan. Frank got out of his car. The driver of the gray sedan got out. Ray photographed the meeting. He could not identify the second person from that distance, so he zoomed his lens and took a series of high-resolution shots. He went home that night and uploaded his photographs to his computer to review them properly. The second person in the photographs, the person Frank had been meeting, was a man, approximately 60 years old, heavy-set, gray hair. Ray studied the face carefully because something about it bothered him, a feeling he could not immediately identify. He ran the photographs through his standard identification process, cross-referencing with public records and social media, as was his practice. The face matched a man named Gerald. Ray pulled up Gerald's full record. Gerald had died 14 months earlier. His death had been reported in the local paper, cardiac arrest. He had been buried in a cemetery 12 miles from where Ray had just photographed him standing in a parking lot at 10 in the evening. Ray stared at his screen for a long time. He returned the following night. Frank went to the same lot. The same gray sedan arrived. Ray photographed the meeting again from a closer position. It was the same man, same face, same build, same gray sedan, alive, moving, talking to Frank in a parking lot behind a closed diner. Ray delivered his report to Carol and told her that her husband was not having an affair, but that the man he was meeting had been reported dead for over a year and that she should take the photographs to the police. Carol looked at the photographs for a long time. Then she looked at Ray and said, "I know who that is. That is Gerald. He was Frank's business partner. Frank told me Gerald died in Florida." She went very quiet. Then she said, "Where has he been for 14 months?" Ray did not have an answer. He referred the matter to a contact at the Cincinnati Police Department. An investigation was opened. What investigators eventually determined was that Gerald had faked his death to escape a federal fraud investigation involving the business he and Frank had run together. He had been living under a different identity in another state for 14 months and had been meeting Frank periodically to manage the concealment. Gerald was arrested 4 months later. He was convicted of fraud and identity concealment. Frank was charged as an accessory. Ray said the part of the case he could not shake was not the fraud. It was the moment he sat at his desk looking at a photograph of a man he had just confirmed was dead and understood that the photograph was taken 6 hours earlier. He said, "In 22 years, I had seen a lot of things, but I had never photographed a dead man walking."
In the autumn of 2020, a female private investigator named Dana, based in Nashville, Tennessee, 11 years in practice, was hired by a man named Robert to find his stepdaughter. The girl, whose name was Emma, was 15 years old. Robert told Dana that Emma had run away 3 weeks earlier following an argument at home. He said the police had been notified but had not located her. He was desperate. He wanted her found and brought home safely. He provided Dana with Emma's photograph, her known friends' names, her school, her phone number, which had gone to voicemail since the day she disappeared, and a detailed description of her appearance and habits. He seemed like a concerned stepfather. He was well-dressed, articulate, and visibly distressed. Dana took the case. She began working through Emma's known contacts, interviewing friends, checking social media, reviewing locations Emma had frequented, standard missing persons process. On the fourth day, she located a girl matching Emma's description staying at a low-income motel on the outskirts of Nashville. She knocked on the door. Emma opened it. She was alive and physically unharmed, but the moment Dana identified herself and mentioned Robert's name, her expression changed completely. She said, "He sent you." She tried to close the door. Dana held up her hand and said, "I am not here to take you anywhere you do not want to go. I just need to know you are safe. Talk to me for 5 minutes." Emma talked for 40 minutes. What she told Dana was this. She had not run away. She had fled. There was a distinction, she said, and it mattered. She had fled because of what she had discovered Robert doing. She would not tell Dana the specifics, but she said she had documented it. She had taken photographs on her phone before she left. She had sent the photographs to someone she trusted. She said, "If you take me back to him, those photographs go to the police. That is the only reason I am still safe. He knows if I disappear, the photographs get released." Dana sat in her car outside that motel for a long time after Emma closed the door. She called the Nashville police directly, not Robert. She told them she had located the missing minor and that she had reason to believe the minor had fled a dangerous home environment, and the stepfather who had hired her to find the girl should be treated as a person of interest. She surrendered her case file to the detective assigned. What followed was a 6-month investigation into Robert that Dana was not fully briefed on. What she was told at the conclusion of that investigation was that Robert had been arrested and charged with multiple offenses related to the abuse and exploitation of a minor. The charges were serious. The case went to trial. He was convicted. Dana has continued practicing as a PI, but she said the case changed one thing about how she works forever. She said, "I used to believe the person who hired me. I used to assume that the person who came to me with a problem was the victim. Emma taught me that the person who hires you is not always the person who needs protecting. Sometimes the person they hire you to find is the one running from them. And your job, without knowing it, is to finish what they started."
If you are watching this right now and you are not subscribed to Mr. Fadoo Horror, subscribe now. Every week there are new cases like these, true accounts that most people never hear about. Hit the like button too. One tap is all it takes. Story 3 is the last one tonight, and it is the one that has never been fully explained.
In the summer of 2017, a private investigator named Marcus, based in Phoenix, Arizona, 7 years in practice, was hired by a man named Vincent to conduct surveillance on a property. Vincent told Marcus he was a landlord. He said he had a tenant in a suburban property who he believed was running an illegal business from the house. He wanted documentation of unusual activity, vehicles, visitors, hours of operation that he could use to pursue an eviction. It was not an unusual request. Marcus had done similar jobs before. He took the case. The house was a single-story property in a quiet residential neighborhood. Nothing remarkable about it from the exterior. A car in the driveway, maintained lawn, no visible signs of activity. Marcus set up a standard surveillance position, a parked vehicle with camera equipment positioned to observe the front of the property and the driveway, rotating his position each night to avoid detection. Night 1, nothing. The house was dark by 10. No visitors, no unusual vehicles. Night 2. Nothing visible from the front, but at approximately 2 in the morning, Marcus noticed that a light in the rear of the house, visible as a faint glow around the edges of the back window blinds, went on and stayed on until 4:15. He logged it. Night 3. Same pattern. Rear light on between 2 and 4 in the morning. He repositioned to get a partial view of the rear. He could see movement through the gap in the blinds, figures moving, but nothing identifiable. Night 4. A vehicle he had not seen before arrived at the property at 1:40 in the morning. It parked around the side. 2 people got out. They entered through the rear door. They left at 3:50. Marcus photographed the vehicle and the 2 individuals as clearly as he could from his position. Night 5. The same vehicle returned, different 2 people, same time frame. Night 6. Marcus arrived at his surveillance position at midnight and found a vehicle already parked nearby, a dark SUV, no plates visible, 2 men in the front. He noted it and assumed it was unrelated. At 1 in the morning, both men got out of the SUV and walked directly to Marcus's vehicle. They showed federal law enforcement credentials. They told him the surveillance operation he was conducting was intersecting with an active federal investigation, and that his equipment and footage were being confiscated under a federal warrant. They took his camera equipment, his external hard drives, and his case files. They gave him a receipt that listed the items and a federal case reference number, but provided no further information. They told him his client had been flagged and that he should have no further contact with Vincent. Marcus later discovered, through publicly available court records from a case that concluded 2 years later, that the property he had been surveilling had been the subject of a federal human trafficking investigation. The case resulted in multiple arrests. What Marcus was never told, what he has never been able to determine, is what was on the footage from nights 3 through 6 that the federal agents felt it necessary to confiscate before he reviewed it fully. He saw the movement through the blinds on nights 3 and 4. He filmed it. He never saw what he filmed. He said, "I have thought about that footage every day since 2017. Not because I want to know what it was on it, because I am not sure I could handle knowing. And I have been doing this job for 15 years. Whatever was on that footage, the federal agents who watched it did not look like men who had seen something routine. They looked like men who would spend the rest of their careers trying to forget."
3 investigators, 3 cases they took for money, 3 things they found that changed how they see the world. A dead man who was not dead, a missing girl who was safer lost than found, and footage of something that federal agents decided no private citizen should ever see. The fraud case is closed. Robert is in prison. The federal investigation concluded with arrests. But Marcus's footage, whatever was on nights 3 through 6, is sealed inside a federal evidence archive somewhere. And whatever those agents saw when they watched it, they have never described it publicly. Some things that are found are never meant to be seen, and some jobs that look routine from the outside never are. Hit the like button right now. One tap tells YouTube to put these cases in front of every person who needs to hear them. Subscribe to Mr. Fadoo Horror if you are not already. Every week, new cases, true accounts, the kind that stay with you. Drop a comment below. Which case disturbed you the most? The dead man, the client, or the footage? I read every single reply on this channel. I have another compilation right here. Watch that next. I will see you there.